these two players are meeting. Happy and LawLiet. The first time in 1.5 years. First time they met was the Jera Forever Cup. And that truly was a long time ago. Happy has had the upper hand in most of their encounters historically. But the most recent one was for LawLiet. Happy at the moment, by no means to be considered weak, winning the MTW Legendary Cup. LawLiet dropping down in the WGL from the Pro to the Open division. That wasn't too great, but he seems to be fighting his way back. But Happy, I think overall, isn't looking so unbeatable as he used to sometimes in the past. This should be a very close and hard fought over best of 7. Let's go. Happy in the top right here as the red undead and LawLiet in the bottom left as the yellow night elf. Starting off with the keeper, the standard creep route. For Happy, it's the... Is it a Ted Fiend opening? Whoa! Ted Fiend opening. That is very unusual. The straw poll doesn't work, unfortunately, at the moment, so couldn't do that. So DK early with an Acolyte Harass is designed to steal one of the last hits here with the coil. That should be doable with Acolyte Interference. And that will prevent the level 2 for the Keeper for quite a while if you can stick around for the Harass at the next camp as well. Being forced to play Keeper level 1 for a longer time is really annoying without the control of the Entangle. Dealing with the Undead is pretty painful. Not what you want. However, normally when we see this opening, it's going to be with ghouls as well. However, the DK actually not going for the harass. So the level 2 is freely going to be given to the Keeper of the Grove. And the big consumable as well, being the Scroll of the Beast. Which can certainly find its usage, especially before Destroyers are out. Which is of course going to take a long time. This is one of the reasons why the Keeper is very strong against Undead. Entangle being such a strong spell, as long as it doesn't get dispelled. And for Undead, the tech tree to dispel is the furthest, with Destroyers having to be relied upon. On some maps you can go for Shadow Priests as well from the Merc Camp, but Northern Isles doesn't have any Merc Camps, so no Merc Camps, no Shadow Priests. Acolyte Scout sees the Tree of Life coming up immediately. Can the DK cancel this? DK plus Skeletons can cancel this if there's no Wisps nearby. But Wisps should always be nearby. We'll see. And this is the reason why usually Undeads go for more Ghouls and not the Ted Fiend opening. This is 4 Ghouls. So Ted Fiends with super late Fiends, basically is what this means. There's 1 Wisp at the expansion to be ready for Detonate, especially the way you're supposed to. I don't think Happy can cancel this at all. There's the first Wisp. Alright, I'm gonna change the overlay here in a moment. This is a really big deal. Only 1 Wisp was here. LawLiet! I keep telling you Night Elves all the time. Bring more than 1 Wisp, but I think it's okay. It's okay. LawLiet is keeping the Tree of Life. Against only DK Harass, this should never be lost. Just with Wisps, this can easily be saved. And here you see the difference in the opening. If this had been a more ghoul-heavy opening, with 4 to 5 ghouls showing up, this would have been a cancel. Maybe 1 ghoul would have died, perhaps 2 ghouls would have died. But delaying an expansion for 1 to 2 minutes makes that easily worth it. But as it is, with just this DK, this cannot be cancelled. This is going to be a very early expansion for LawLiet. So, best of 7, now it is correct. Thank you guys for pointing this out. Keeper almost level 3. This wasn't really prevented at all. The DK is struggling to get to level 2. And I'm really not a big fan of this build at all by Happy. So he's got 5 ghouls. Gonna creep up the Ogre Magi. That's gonna be level 2. But this was the easiest early game for LawLiet ever. No disruption for the level 3 Keeper. No expansion delayed. Or cancelled. It's looking pretty smooth sailing so far for the Night Elf, I think. So that's level 2 for the DK, finding the greater healing. That's always good. Against a level 2 Entangle, which it should be, right? Oh, it's level 2 Treants actually for LawLiet. But the Keeper's almost level 4 already. It's crazy fast, by the way. So it's gonna have the second point in Entangle up soon as well. There was a Skeleton scouting here, but I mean, no surprise. He obviously couldn't cancel the expansion, so it's coming. Happy knows this, creeping up further, getting closer to level 3, but still not there. Tier 3, very fast though. And Fiends starting to come in with the Lich, with the statues. Second hero Alchemist, with a lot of archers, and I imagine Hippo Rider transition. No wins just yet. LawLiet doesn't quite have the resources for this at the moment, but will soon, should soon. Happy's looking for some kills. And archers reveal themselves. The Nova plus the Coil, just with these two heroes, could easily be a few kills onto the archers. And diminishing the numbers of the Hippo Riders later on is a big deal. And perfect creep jack coming in. But no dust brought. Oh, and the dust stolen perhaps? There's a dust available at the shop actually. But Happy doesn't want to go to the shop, fearing the Entangle. Only level 1 Entangle at the moment though, and LawLiet goes for the dust. Very smart, and Happy a little too greedy. Not purchasing the dust earlier. And with a creep jack like this should at least be 2 archers dying. But as it is, he holds on to all of them. Oh no, did I disconnect? No? Okay, sorry. My NetEase was lighting up there. I thought I was about to have a disc. But no, everything's fine. Well, everything's fine for us in the cast, but it's not looking too fine for Happy. Still no level 3 on the DK. No archers killed at all. This is like a perfect Night Elf early game. Everything went the way LawLiet wanted. Alright, he's gonna lose 1 archer here. Oh, don't tell me he's not even gonna get this one. Okay. 1 archer lost so far, but that's totally fine. Level 4 now on the Keeper, and now he's got the level 2 in the Entangle. With that, the Lich will be forced into the heal potion. Perhaps he wants to hold on to it if he can. Whew. That was very close. Coil coming in, but again, only level 1 Coil. Doesn't even heal him fully back up. This is not looking good for Happy at all, if you ask me. Pulling the statues and the Fiends in the main. The Fiends especially I can understand to not lose them to Entangle, but at least statues should be brought out. They can't get entangled. They're not gonna get destroyed. Okay, Orb of Corruption now coming in. We have Frenzy coming and Web. Upgrades, of course, that are necessary, especially the Web is. But LawLiet has been fully mining here for more than a minute. And it's gonna burst into upkeep very soon. All the archers, which were good for creeping early on, but have the downside of being vulnerable due to having low HP now, can mount the Hippogriffs with that much harder to take out. As we have double wind Hippogriff production. Once we have all archers being mounted onto Hippos, there's going to be a transition into Fairy Dragons, who are flying and are magic immune as well to boot, which is a big help for the Lich. If the Undead micros very well, he can play this 1 base versus 2, but usually for that, high hero levels are required. Level 4 DK and level 3 Lich. That's not the case. Dark Ranger instead going to be the choice here as the 3rd hero, as Happy is kind of coming in for an all-in attack. He has to win this fight and this game right now, basically. Otherwise, he will be overwhelmed by the numbers of the Night Elf very, very shortly. LawLiet doesn't want to fight yet. He wants to buy a little bit more time. Needs more Hippos for more Hippo Riders, but 2 archers are left on the ground. He's going for one of them right away, and that's going to kill off the 1 archer immediately. We have the Web coming in as well, and the Roar as well for more damage. 2 destroyers, though, up in the air now. Can dispel a lot of the Roar right there. All of the Roar is gone. More Nova coming in, and actually these Hippo Riders are disappearing very quickly. Is LawLiet winning this perfect game? This push is hitting just a little too soon, I guess. He wasn't ready with the numbers. He wasn't in upkeep yet. He didn't have, I don't know, level 3 Alchemist either. Somehow, LawLiet now in deep trouble. This game looked like it should be going good for him. It looked perfectly for him. But that was the upside of the build for Happy. Happy could apply like no pressure with his build, but he could tech very, very fast. Wand of Illusion now coming in as well, trying to fool this undead army. Entangle, Dispelled, a little bit late, but the coil comes in time to heal as much as possible. One web in the front is going to lead to a kill. The fake illusions, though, are soaking up quite a bit of damage here as well. And with no statues on the ground, it's really hard for Happy to sustain in this fight. And now he's out of mana on 2 of the 3 heroes. So he has to back up. But it was certainly a favorable trade for Happy. And he's resupplying with more fiends, I wanted to say. But he was supply blocked. Acolyte coming. Aiming for a counter expansion, perhaps. Is Happy. At the shop, Scroll of Healing purchased. And the statue, the ever so important statue for the sustain. For the region. As LawLiet is trying to amass more and more air units. And he's getting pretty close to critical mass. 59 supply still. The illusions will expire, so Happy won't be fooled by those anymore. Destroyers using their dispels very quickly, but the Keeper can't follow up with an entangle. LawLiet wants to buy more time here as well. Wants to get up to 70 supply, so he has this crazy focus fire potential. Ideally for that you want level 3 Alchemist. That helps a lot, but doesn't have that. Webs coming in from Happy. He doesn't have too many webs, honestly. Only 3. I don't think Happy can seriously fight here. He may want to TP out of this. One hippo will be taken out, but traded for a statue. A trade that Happy perhaps can't really afford. Whiffs coming in for the detonates as well for more mana burn. The undead heroes, once again, completely out of mana, out of spells, and Happy has to run. Tuck tail and head back to the main. Statues, taking those out is key. And this is where you can see the lack of no level 2 aura on the DK. With a level 2 aura on the Death Knight, with a level 4 required for him, this will be a lot easier to kite with, but not the case. It looked scary there for LawLiet. It looked really scary before he was in upkeep, but now he's got the numbers, he's got the firepower finally. Did he buy this flute, by the way? I think he found the flute, right? He's coming in easily in time to cancel the counter expansion. Happy fought his way back well into this game, but it's looking rough now. Very rough for him. Dark Ranger 3rd is a hero that excels pretty much in every matchup for Undead. But I think in this one she's misplaced. A timely silence against a Keeper and an Alchemist I don't think makes that much of a difference. When you play Night Elf here, you don't have to have the perfect timing on the stomp or on the heal. If you're silent, then you just wait and you use it after. You kind of spam those spells anyways on cooldown. So I'm not a big fan of the Dark Ranger. She's very expensive, 425 gold, and also occupies your supply. There could be Fiends instead, which are better damage-wise against air units, and also soaks up experience. Aggressive TP, silence coming in onto both heroes, but it's so many air units now by LawLiet. One destroyer can't be saved, is taken out by this piercing damage. Mass Fairy Dragons now, we don't have too many Hippo Riders remaining anymore. They can still be Novad as long as there's mana, but the Lich doesn't have mana, and he doesn't even have level 3. The hero levels are the big problem here for Happy, I think. Well, and of course being down in economy for as long as he is. Happy's very close now to 2 level ups for the level 3 Lich and a level 4 DK, but finding kills, as it turns out, has become pretty dangerous. Pretty difficult, I should say, rather. And kill after kill, the Lich would be the GG if you can find that one. But seems to just be making it away. Blocks himself a little, heal potion transferred with that. The Lich survives a little bit longer, didn't have to go for the invul, but more Fiends die. 2 easy kills right there. That was a level up for the Keeper to level 5 as well. And Happy doesn't have the numbers anymore. It's 68 now for LawLiet, 45 only for Happy, losing another one of his Fiends. And this is kind of looking like the 1-0 right here. Happy playing some pretty old school style. Old meta. Fast tech triple hero. When nowadays it's usually more about dual hero only, or even expansions for the undead. Possibly even with Gargs. DK now in focus. May have to use the TP to survive this one. But he loses a Destroyer again. And, well, he hits level 4. That's actually a big help. With a level 2 on the aura. And the Expo is standing. LawLiet didn't scout for this, but actually has a third base for himself coming up. Ancient Django. Oh my god, that's so good. That is so good for more movement speed to keep up with the undead. Make kiting more difficult for Happy. If Happy's left alone for the next 4 minutes... I know that sounds very unlikely. But if he is, and he gets up to 70 supply Fiends, this is still very winnable. He's got the expansion now. Which is going to be fully mining in just a second. But LawLiet is also getting very powerful. Tier 3 is coming. More upgrades are inbound for the ferries, by the way. Not for the Hippo Riders. Usually at one point all the Hippo Riders are dead, thanks to the Lich. It's only ferries remaining, so investing into them with upgrade makes sense, I guess. If LawLiet gets a little complacent here, and wants his third base, and wants to go, I don't know, Chimeras or something, this could still maybe be doable for Happy. He's down by 20 supply though. Holding on is gonna be difficult. Oh my god, this is so many ferries. But there is a counter to this. It's mass Fiends. 12 Fiends. 12 Fiends, mass upgrades, and statues should defeat this army for the Night Elf. However, the heroes are also very strong. Double level 5 for Keeper and Alchemist. And now LawLiet is looking for the knockout punch. He's going towards the expansion. Happy has 63 supply to put up against it. Morphing more destroyers here as well. Only 5 Fiends. This does not look like it's good enough. Oh, that was a big Nova though, coming into the back to the Hippo Riders. One destroyer taken out pretty quickly. There's only one left now up in the air, and then it's just not enough Fiends, I think. Treants being summoned off to the side. The Spirit Tower is doing its best, but the last destroyer is taken out as well. Going for the Lich now next. He's dropping very low, very fast. Has to go for the invul at pretty much the beginning of the fight. DK on the other side only has, well, no coils remaining at the moment. He's going to have one more coil in a bit, but that's going to be the only one for this entire battle. This is looking like the GG if you ask me. Dark Ranger falls, more Fiends to fall. Happy dropping down to 41 supply. It is looking desperate now for the undead. The 1-0 seems imminent for LawLiet. Moving forward, finding more and more kills. But Happy's not giving up. He still has some faith in a potential comeback. But LawLiet didn't even dip below 70, whereas Happy dropped like a 20 supply. GG. And the 1-0 for LawLiet. I was honestly impressed that it looked as close as it did. This was as close to a perfect early game for Night Elf as you're ever gonna get. No harassment early, quick level 3, no expansion cancelled or delayed. Only a single archer lost. DK stuck on level 2 forever, no creeping really on the undead side, no strong heroes. I think Happy is not going for the right builds here, in the first game at least. This is only the first, of course, in our best of 7. There's going to be a long series. LawLiet takes the lead. Next map we go to is going to be Last Refuge. The map pool is exactly the same as WGL. You can also see it on Liquipedia. Yeah, the same as pretty much everywhere. And we don't have vetoes because this is a best of 7. Ooh, I'd love to see Twisted Meadows or something. That would be pretty sick. Long drawn out game, 3 bases each. Hell yeah, dude, I'd love that. So, smaller map now, much easier to find a cancel on the expansion. Usually, Night Elf expansion will always be here. If they're trying to be sneaky, it will be here. If they're trying to be very safe, it will be like here. Or if he's going more creep heavy early on, or if he's left alone, LawLiet, perhaps he's even going to creep the natural right away and pop it down right here. Keeper here, a bit of a specialty, is going to have trouble finding level 2. With the DK coming in for harass, this can once again be pretty annoying to deal with. And Happy is going for the same opening. Well, it wasn't exactly Ted Fiends, the last build order. Doing it again. Graveyard again. Graveyard always means few ghouls, like 5 ghouls maximum. If you go only 5 ghouls, you can't really be aggressive with the ghouls, because then you have no lumber, and once you hit tier 2, you can't progress on to tier 3, which is what you need, as Undead always needs tier 3. YapDD, thank you very much for the 6-month resub, and Duro, thank you very much for the 15 months. So Acolyte Scouts, it's a keeper, right? Yeah. Okay. I could see a curveball Demon Hunter here, actually. On like, I don't know, Terranos or something? Maybe AZ? Nah, AZ is so good for keep though, probably not. And the DK once again going for the instant creeping. With one of the ghouls. It looks like Happy just wants to play light on the ghouls, fast tech, and get fiends out pretty early. Which reminds me of Neo. It's exactly what Neo suggested. But it has these massive downsides that you can never cancel an expansion. LawLiet, oh, and LawLiet is playing anti-Chinese meta right now. He's expecting the DK to come in for the harass at the green camp. So the keeper instead goes for the natural at his opponent's side. This has the added benefit of also being able to do something about fast expansion attempts, which are actually in the meta nowadays. Crazy as that is. But Happy, I don't think, is really a fast expansion kind of player. Happy, a very strong player, always has been, extremely talented. Unbelievable micro. Probably the best micro in the world. But not too in tune with the scene. Doesn't care about what other players are doing too much. He's not a guy who studies replays, who tries to learn from other people, who tries to figure out the best builds. For that reason, sometimes his builds seem a little old-fashioned, a little outdated. We saw this in his matchup against Orc when he used to play slow hero opening, so fast fiend opening, for ages and ages. He started shifting in that matchup more recently, but here once again he's seemingly playing an old build, and it's not, once again, not looking good for Happy in the early. DK not even remotely close to level 2. Whereas the keeper, oh my god, that inventory. Whereas the keeper is moving closer and closer to level 3. And the DK now coming in for the harass. What can he do here? Like, what's the plan? Oh, that detonate though. Oh! Triple skeletons, thank you very much. Keeper can easily go for a bit of harassment here with the entangle. Has plenty of mana to use. The coil flew onto a treant. And I guess that's the right call. He has like so little experience to begin with. I don't like Happy's build at all. To be honest with you. Yes, you get the fast tech. Yes, you get the fast fiends. But the Night Elf game plan is just completely uninterrupted. And now the keeper is going to get the entangle surround here, possibly. Maybe not. It's going to cost him a lot of mana, at least. Oh, is he going to let him die? He is. Oh, man. And he had to cancel the Lich to get back the DK. This is not looking good for Happy at all. Happy, our European Emperor, is struggling hard right now against LawLiet. LawLiet, Okay, I'm not trying to flame Happy. Guys, I'm an undead player. I have great respect for Happy. But this game, I don't know, it feels like LawLiet is thinking, what? This is Happy? I remember him playing differently.
A player's forces are under attack.
I remember fearing him. Did he get the experience from that? I think he did. Don't have experience for the Alchemist here. That's going to be a welcome find. Like, again, expansion, it's quite a bit later than the last game, yes. But, again, not cancelled. Fast tech this time around for LawLiet. Alchemist gets both camps in the middle. The DK's still level 1.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay, so when you play this DK opening, what's your plan? You kill the first creep here, that's 48 experience. What's your plan moving forward for level 2? He continued to harass over here. Is he expecting to kill like the Ogre Magi and another big creep with a coil and that way get level 2? This seems very weird. I mean, it's the second time in a row he's going for this build, so I assume he's played it before, and I assume he has had success with it as well. But it's like, it's such an isolated strategy. It's just like him being like, I don't care what you do, you can do whatever you feel like. I'm just interested about my tech. Okay. I'm afraid we are having a disconnect here. Sorry about that, sometimes that happens on NetEase. Usually one can reconnect though. Are you serious? Happy pulled the plug. No, that was just on my end. Okay, I'm reconnecting though, it should be fine. I'll be back in the game in a jiffy. Alrighty, let's see what's going on. So, no surprise, Hippo Riders are here, expansion is established. LawLiet is ready to break into upkeep soon. Happy found a very good item with the hilarious full of accuracy, but still these heroes are struggling hard. And that's the thing, if you go tier 3 really quickly, you still have to wait after tier 3 until you get the fiends out. So, this fast tier 3 isn't doing much for Happy, really. And what he had to sacrifice for the fast tier 3 was a lot. No pressure on the map, no creeping. He got fast tier 3 and fast fiends. That's all he got. But nothing he can do with it. And LawLiet, realizing the weakness, he's like, man, you are unable to fight for really, really, really long. So he crept up, he got his hero levels. Wow, this is actually a 4.5 keeper and a 3.5 alchemist. With sick inventory as well. Greater healing, greater invul, Ankh. Lots of intelligence on the keeper. And now, Happy's in a checkmate situation. He has to attack the expansion of the opponent, but if he leaves his main, he's gonna lose his main. I don't know what Happy's supposed to do here, guys. I really don't. LawLiet just kills a couple of acolytes. That was very expensive for Happy. And then he TP's out. He can buy a new TP right away if he has a shop. Take this route. Whoops. Go to the other main again and rinse repeat. And all the meantime, can make more and more army. Even a shredder now. Somewhere. Where is he? There we go. LawLiet low lumber at the moment. But not for too much longer. At least he doesn't go Dark Ranger this time around. DK isn't even level 3. Like, there's no way. This is not exactly what I'm supposed to do as a caster. I'm supposed to keep this hyped. Like, oh man, who knows if he micros well. We all know Happy is a master of micro, but honestly, I don't feel like lying to you guys that much. This game's fucking over. Cheeky Moonwell.
A player's forces are under attack.
LawLiet could go... I don't know, what could he go? Could transition into mass talents at this point and win this game, probably. Wouldn't be too surprised to see Trees of Life springing up everywhere soon. Alright, decent micro by Happy, saving the Fiends towards the back, but this is always only doable as long as the heroes have mana. Once the DK runs out of coils, that's usually the end, as the Fiends will start dying as they get popped and picked off one by one. I guess the interesting thing to take a look at here is the micro for LawLiet. What does he focus? What's he going for? Seems like Fiends mostly is his focus. I think he killed one destroyer earlier on. It's kind of even trading in this battle. Not really even, but it is trading at least. But it's trading that Happy can't afford. Losing the last statue, down to one Fiend, 31 supply. DK may even have to TP out of this. He does. No lumber anymore for Happy. He brought all the ghouls. Ah, he's got one left. GG. What? Thank you, Knopf, for the host, by the way. Damn! Dude! These are stomps so far. Happy has to adjust his opening. It's a bad build, man. I'm sure he has his reasons. And I'm not gonna doubt Happy's abilities. He's a great player. But I think this is just an awful build. You can't pressure the Expo. You can't kill Night Elf units. You can't even creep. Like, what is this build? Alright, 2-0 lead for LawLiet. It's far from over. This is the best of 7. This could still very well be turned around. However, I believe Happy will have to change something for that. I think Happy doesn't watch a lot of Back to Warcraft. There we saw lots of experimentation over the last couple of weeks and months from Undeads. Successfully so against Night Elf. Early expansions, counter expansions, gargoyles, Naga pressure. It looks like Happy's playing against human. Very, very unusual to see against Night Elf. Twisted Meadows! Okay. I love to see this map. It's so rare nowadays. Usually we always see it vetoed. This could be a mass expansion game here, possibly. Yeah, Twisted, my favorite, says Todd. Yeah, okay. I agree. For you humans, it's a pretty tough map. So, Happy. Do you have something else in store now? I certainly hope so. Happy used to play this matchup very aggressively as well, with like ghoul move-ins and stuff. Trying to take the initiative early on. Against a keeper, of course, that's pretty hard to do. Locking down the ghouls, entangle. Picking them off one by one and so on. Okay, we had a host bug here, so we're gonna have to rehost. I do watch Happy streams every now and then. I haven't seen him too much recently, though. Like, how does this build against Night Elf usually work? I'm actually curious. Especially on LR. Like, what's the plan? What are you hoping to achieve? Obviously, it didn't work out in that last game. If you want to go DK solo creeping on some maps, that's okay. For example, on Amazonia, with DK solo creeping, you can get really far. You can actually get level 3 just with DK solo creeping. But on LR, that just doesn't work. Camps are too hard. Not enough medium armor, inner fire, and all that stuff. Weird, weird, weird. Okay. Third game. I appreciate that these guys are keeping their colors, making it easier for me. Twisted Meadows, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, we see this map always vetoed. I personally hate this map. I mean, playing it. Watching it, I love this map. Playing it, though, I always feel lost. There's expansions for the Night Elf coming up everywhere. I always feel that's a danger and an unwinnable situation oftentimes, especially if you go up against players like Moon. Other undeads, though, say that this is actually a favorable map against Night Elf. Perhaps even the only favorable map against Night Elf. 1-0 is of that opinion. He didn't elaborate as to why. But, yeah, he did say that. It's the same build. Really? It's a different build from LawLiet, though. This has always been the issue with Night Elves, for Night Elves on Twisted Meadows. All the camps are so damn hard. So if you go Ancient of War creeping anywhere and it gets harassed, this can lead to a lot of issues. Especially if somehow 2 ghouls start showing up as well, you may end up losing the Ancient of War. Suddenly, the whole early game is in the can. And with that, the game can be over already. So LawLiet is going for the Huntress opening. Night Elves used to go for the Merc Camp creep, but with the weaker Ancient of War, that's pretty hard to do nowadays. This one also is kind of dangerous. Nowadays we see some natural creeps, actually, to try to be a little bit sneaky. But yeah, LawLiet doesn't go for any creep camp to begin with. So both heroes go for harassment. We have absolutely no creeping going on. And I guess in this case, the opening kind of works out for Happy, because with this build, he can't really creep, and usually the Keeper would get a big experience lead against him, but in this game, the Keeper can't creep either, so we're gonna have low levels on both sides. Of course, the DK at the end needs to be high level, needs to be at least level 3, rather level 4. But same can be said for the Keeper. If the Keeper doesn't hit level 3 in a timely manner, he's actually pretty tame. Wait, what? 4 ghoul move out? What's he expecting? There's no more ghouls in the main. There's no ziggurat coming. Wait, what? Necro? What? But I mean, he must realize that there's Huntresses coming, right?
Forces are under attack.
I am so confused by Happy's builds. Like, seriously. Ghouls are chasing some wisps. Happy has no lumber income right now. The next time he can produce units again is in around, I don't know, 90 seconds or something. Keeper still no skill point, by the way.
A town is under siege.
What the hell? He's looking for the expansion, I guess. Wait, did the ghoul die? No, it was a skeleton. Okay, Happy's looking for the expansion. There's ghouls like everywhere. An Acolyte scouting for Expo. Wait. 1, 2, 3 ghouls. Where's the 4th one? Did he lose one? Okay, 4th one's in the main. Happy only now starting to get lumber again.
A player's forces are under attack.
What? This is so strange. Oh, I love the tree position. Very, very unusual. And that's the difficulty about Twisted. There's so many tree positions, it's like basically impossible to scout them all. Telly staff on the DK. Well, he's gonna have an excess of gold, certainly. And it's getting some nice creeping done himself now. When you go Hunter's opening, when you don't have an Ancient of War, the Keeper wants to be aggressive, the Keeper wants to prevent creeping. And this can be an upside for the Undead as well. If he goes into a weird position, as Happy is, it's really hard to be found. There's multiple scouts heading out for LawLiet. He hasn't found him yet, but he's about to find him. as Happy is creeping up the gold mine here. And Huntresses coming in, Keeper coming in. Probably gonna be entangled first then. Is Happy gonna TP out of this is the question to save the ghouls? Or is he just gonna staff and abandon the ghouls? TP. If he saves all the ghouls, this feels good, man. And he saves them all. Oh, Skeleton. Is he gonna look? Again, it's a weird position. Happy mostly plays ladder. On ladder, you don't see this too much. Nope. He scouts in the standard expansion positions. But there's nothing there. So was this wisp move, this ghoul move out just to find the expansion? Or what was this? Like again, he couldn't creep, he couldn't damage. I'm so baffled by this. This is gonna be a really late night of expansion though. In that case, tier 3 undead counter expo is certainly a possibility. Also, heavy on the Huntresses here is LawLiet. Huntresses start falling off heavily against undead once those reach tier 3. We have the lores now coming. Hunts and lores? Hunts and dryads, that is then? Could of course also be for MGs later. Hunts and dryads both fall off hard against big undead armies backed up by strong heroes.
A player's forces are under attack.
DK continuing to creep. He has much better progress than in the previous games. Well, first game, I don't know if that's too true, but certainly the second game. Red Camp is taking him a little. He even invested a Wisp here for the detonate against all the buffs. I like that choice a lot, actually. Makes it much easier to creep this. And the Pendant of Mana! Oh, shit, for the Alchemist. Oh, that is so good.
A player's forces are under attack.
Might even be better on the Keeper, I'm not sure. But yeah. With Moonwells, the synergy is amazing. Or with Mana Pots. Happy scouting up here, but no. There's no Expo here. Expo's over here. But it's pretty late. Tier 3 is basically done for Happy. He's gonna have Destroyers soon. And with that he becomes pretty strong on the map. And with that he could counter-expand. And here come the Dryads. Everything unarmored here on the Night of Sight makes everything pretty vulnerable against piercing damage. DK, did he get the skull? Skull? Orb? No skull though. But the Acolyte is moving out. This is looking like a counter expo, right? Nope, never mind. Double Slaughterhouse. This is something that Happy liked to play when the Keeper first showed his face. Mass A-bombs with a couple of statues, destroyers, and meat wagons. And that is certainly really strong against Huntresses and Dryads, if you have the numbers. Or if the Night Elf doesn't have the numbers to just overpower you. LawLiet getting ready for the next expansion. Is he really gonna take the next expo before upkeep? With that it feels like he can't pressure for a while. DK finally level 3. Once again, this took a while. And the Lich gathering the first bit of experience as well. Destroyer form should be done soon, right? Yeah. So once that finishes, you can start feeling a lot safer against the Keeper, who is himself almost level 4. We'll creep that now. Alchemist, oh my god. He's got a Pendant of Mana and a Pendant of Energy. Very passive game. Not a single fight just yet. Oh, here's the Acolyte. Happy's getting ready for the counter expo. He's a little low lumber, but ghouls should take care of that soon, I guess. And here come the A-bombs, Disease Cloud. Ghouls fall off as well, though, certainly. Ghouls will get shredded by Dryads and Alchemists and even Huntresses. Shredder. Okay, we have some serious macro going on here. Happy's still scouting for the expansion. I think he still hasn't seen this, by the way. Good scouting by LawLiet as well. is probably gonna find out about this expansion up here. Boots and Sobi for the DK and the Lich. That's not too bad at all. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. On the gold mine. However, third base coming up for LawLiet, and it's starting to get into that infinite bases territory. Wouldn't be surprised to see a tree here, to see a tree here. And then whack-a-mole. Incinerator, thank you very much for the 16 months. Hope you're doing good. Pendant of Mana for Happy as well, though. Oh boy. And level 4 DK, and I think the Lich's almost level 3 as well, right? Yeah. Double level ups here. This was a really big camp for Happy.
A player's forces are under attack.
70 supply, though, for LawLiet. However, 70 pretty weak supply.
A town is
Only Dryads and Huntresses. TP in from Happy. Oh, there's a Sapper coming. How quickly is he gonna see it? Not quick enough. Boom. Only gonna get one Ziggurat, though. That really wasn't the greatest. Oh! Oh, shit! There was one Zapper up here as well, but I think he cancelled the Haunted. Otherwise, the Sapper would be dead. Oh, he kills the Necro instead. That was pretty expensive for LawLiet, though. Right? At least one Huntress, one Dryad, double Sappers, and a TP. That's a lot of gold.
a player's forces are
But
under
LawLiet can afford it. One base, two base, soon to be three base. I'm pretty sure he canceled it. Otherwise, we should have seen like a crater. They leap behind a crater, right? Usually. Wait. Did he not kill this? I think he didn't even kill it. I think it was repaired back up again. Otherwise, yeah. Didn't even kill this one. But he bought time and he delayed the expansion. But again, this is like shit units. This is shit late game units. So are the ghouls though, I guess. Aiming for the destroyer right away with the Dryads. The Alchemist in the front taking the brunt of the damage from the Frenzy Ghouls. The destroyer dropping very low now. Not too easy to mass the spell. Ideally in this scenario would like to have two destroyers actually. Nova coming onto the Treants as the Dryads are magic immune anyways. Alchemist has to be careful. There's no staff actually. Whoa. I for sure thought there was a staff on the Keeper to make sure that his Alchemist would be safe. LawLiet now considering, can he still go over to the Expo and find a candle? It's gonna be close. Keeper being slowed down. The DK still with so much more mana to use. He has to TP out of this. This would have been the kill. 140 is the threshold. And with that, this expansion is safe. But so is this one. What's the transition? Tier 3 coming. You have to move out of Dryads at one point. They're just pretty bad. Tinker third, okay. To help with dealing with the expansions. I think Happy has to expand up here as well, though, right? Well, if he kills this base, it's gonna be 3 base versus 2. But Happy's got like nothing left over here. TP coming in. Is Happy gonna aim for the heroes? The Alchemist could just die, perhaps. The Keeper, that is. There's no TP on him! Happy could have gone for the Keeper right away. With the Coil Nova, I think he would have been dead. Using the Coil on the Destroyer, though, instead, trying to keep his units alive as best as he can. And pretty good trading here for Happy. I don't think he's lost a single unit so far. He's going to lose this Tinker. There's absolutely no saving that one. But it's only level 1 hero. 2 Dryads are basically worth more than that. Just gold-wise. But of course, also that means the Keeper, the Tinker is out of this fight. Can't gather up more experience. And that's in the end what it's all about. High-level heroes usually end up winning those games. Hey, guess what? There's a new Tree of Life here. There's Ancient of War here. Typical twisted kind of game. Happy still trying to trade with a tiny army that he has. First Destroyer is almost gonna be lost. But again, he's trading it for Dryads, finding more and more kills on them. The armor upgrades on the Dryads aren't too high yet, so they still take severe damage. And now the Keeper could be dead. Remember, he TP'd into this without an invul or without a second TP. That was the big mistake by LawLiet. This could have happened at the very beginning of this, actually, if Happy had realized it immediately. So level 4 hero dead. Keeper's gonna be on the sidelines for a while unless he goes for the Tavern Revive. Tinker's back as well, by the way, so this expansion is most likely gone. DK level 5. Lich almost level 5. The levels are starting to get there. This Keeper's gonna have to be afraid of Hero Nuke for the rest of the game. Which may still take a while. But LawLiet's like on 3 bases and he's not even at 80 supply. Perhaps he should, I think he should have just let this base go. Have a base here, and then pressure this one, maybe. I mean, I was always aware that Dryads aren't really good in the late game, but they look terribly bad at the moment. Wasn't expecting them to suck so much. And we have the first wagons coming out now, so with that, plenty more damage against the bases. And also good damage against the Dryads, should it come to a real fight again. One Spirit Tower in the main. Dryads really not made for diving bases. Especially undead bases.
Forces are under attack.
Oh, but this could be some pickoffs on the meat wagons, actually. This is gonna be a nice find for LawLiet. Seems like Happy's army is too far away to do anything about this. Zeppelin is the only way to save it. Oh, or a DK TPing in. That could do it. Oh, the wagons will be lost, though. Okay, there's no saving them, I guess. That was a big loss of resources there by Happy, but he has been trading pretty damn well recently, so he can afford this. He just took out a base up in the north, if you guys remember. And he's gonna take out this tree as well. And that's level 5 on the Lich. Oh, damn. That's a level 3 Novas, ladies and gentlemen. That means, basically, you kind of only want to play magic immune units now. GG. Okay, Happy fights back. On Twisted. Another rather unusual game, I guess. Happy with the same build again. As I said in the early stages there, it actually works out in that game because neither hero can creep, so you are not falling behind too much. But this is the one map where this is the case. Twisted Meadows is the one map where Night Elf will perhaps not go for an Ancient of War creep. Because all the camps are so hard. This will not be occurring on any other map. So I still think Happy should change his opening. But we'll see. Perhaps we're going to see a different execution of this. Perhaps we're going to see why this has some promise for Happy. Or perhaps he is going to change it up. As we move on to map number 4, Concealed Hill. Usually not the greatest map for Night Elf, because DK interference can be pretty annoying here. Level 3 Keeper, that's kind of what it's all about in many matchups, and I think the same is the case here. If you get that quickly, the Keeper is very, very strong. But if you get annoyed, if you get interfered with, and you're stuck on level 2, the Keeper isn't even that strong. I mean, he's not bad. But he's not, I don't know, dominating the game as much as you would otherwise be. And finally, we see a different build by Happy. I'm very glad about this. I think this is absolutely the better choice. Ghoul opening this time around. No solo DK. Or no DK solo creeping. We're gonna have more ghouls for more potential creeping. Possible creep route is take this camp first, move over to the green camp, scout in the meanwhile, and then adjust. So if the Night Elf is over here, you can head over there for the harass. You can even head to the main for wisp kills. And also expansion kills. Usually expansions are set up over here or here. If the Night Elf is taking it carefully. Keeper again, of course. If this was 1-2-0, we would have to wonder about the first hero, but this is Happy, so this should certainly be a DK. 1-2-0 in his games against TH, where TH was playing Night Elf. He played Lich first, DK first, and Dreadlord first. I was losing my mind in those games. And the Lich first actually won. Isn't that insane?
A player's forces
We have that up
are
on our
under attack.
YouTube. If you want to check that out, youtube.com/backtowarcraft. So where's the keeper gonna go? Is he going to the crab right away? He might. DK starting off with the first camp over here. For the item immediately. Get level 2 DK as quickly as possible and then be annoying against the Night Elf. I think that's oftentimes the right play. Acolyte over here for scouting as well. Keeper creeping 2 camps at the same time basically. Hoping for the Tome of Experience. Won't be that lucky. Now losing the Acolyte here is actually going to be a little painful. That can always look for the expansion when it's coming up. LawLiet is going to tech first. Tech on 2 archers into then expansion, most likely. And here you can see, Keeper's level 2, but now getting level 3 is pretty difficult. Yes, you can go for the green camp, but everything else is hard to take, even with Keeper and Treants. This one's hard, this one's hard. This is why oftentimes this map seems to be a challenge for the Keeper. Not just in this matchup, also against Human. DK now 1 kill away from the level up. The ghouls are creeping up the camp. That's the Cloak of Shadows. And more importantly, the level 2. We have 5 ghouls out at the moment. 6th ghoul here, 7th ghoul coming. Tier 2 tech is slightly behind the Night Elf. And here is the expansion. And once again, with the ghouls that he has available now, he could cancel this easily. Perhaps it's going to cost a few ghoul lives, but that should be worth it. And the Acolyte scouts it. There we go. And the key part right now of Concealed Hill is the Keeper's not level 3. And he's not really that close either. He needs quite a few more kills for the level 3. The Acolyte here is going to help him out a little. So he needs 2 ghouls and a skeleton for the level up. We have Mass Wisps here already. LawLiet is expecting the ghoul move in. He's going back to the main to juice up again with the mana. But he's not full mana. I love that he's covering the left-hand side as well with the Treants.
A player's forces are
Okay, but here's the DK. And this is definitely going to be a cancel. This is way too much damage. It's going to cost him a ghoul or 2, certainly. That ghoul's going to die. But that's not even the level up. And yeah, that's worth it, basically. Happy staying in this. Keeper now very close to the level 3. And with this ghoul, he's going to have it. Boom. That's another kill. So it costs him 3 ghouls. But you have to consider an expansion, every minute it runs, is 600 gold. So basically, losing 3 ghouls is worth half a minute. If you just consider the gold factor. Of course, it's about more than just that. It's also about the ghouls you're going to have left to be aggressive on tier 2 or tier 3 or whatever you want. Deny there against the ghoul. And yeah, this was a bit of a more expensive early game, but I think it's the right approach. Happy changed up his style. No longer does he only consider his own tech and his own desire to go to whatever army he pleases, but he's also considering the opponent and what his game plan is, and being disruptive against that one. And I think that's a wiser choice, especially when the game plan of the opponent is centered around expansion. Which we should still expect to see here. I would have expected after this cancel for LawLiet to creep up the natural and then expand right there, and then it's very unlikely that that one gets cancelled. But he's actually in the middle, wanting to use Entangle as a bomb combo to take out the Ogre Lord. He's going to be able to do that, but it's starting to become very late for an expansion. As under tier 3 has started already. Slaughterhouse, a little bit late perhaps. Happy's still very heavy on the ghouls. He lost 3 and he still has 7, so he had 10 ghouls. Of course, at one point you have to transition to fiends, as it's going to be Hippo Riders. He scouted the main as well. He saw the double wins. But he's still not going into the fiends. Cloak of Flames for the Alchemist. Against ghouls can be very, very nice. Won't be focused that hard anymore. It's gonna return way too much damage. You know what I would think would be a good buff to the Cloak of Flames and Immolation? If you decrease or increase the burn tick damage rates. Meaning that it doesn't deal damage every 1 second anymore, but rather every half a second or every quarter second. I think that would increase its micro potential greatly as well. But unlikely that that's too high on the list of priorities. So here's the expansion now, but this is seriously late compared to standards in this matchup. DK's level 3. Lich here now, out to creep as well. Has the boots and the claws. That's some very nice items for the Lich already. But Happy is creeping very slowly. Only with the heroes and skeletons, too afraid to lose units. If he brings them out, they might get entangled and die. Tier 3's done. Lining up with a statue. Ideally, you want to have 2 statues up by the time Tier 3 is done, so then you can go to the Destroyer. And then have a Destroyer and a statue right upon that finishing. Alchemist with a quick level 3 once again. The boots and the rune bracers for him also pretty good. Usually in this matchup with Hippo Riders, the Knight doesn't have to fear being coil-novaed so much because all the coils have to go onto Fiends. But, you know, it's a nice safety item. 5 Hippo Riders out.
A player's forces are
Expansion still not mining though. And Happy is still creeping so slowly. Usually Happy always goes for the orb right away when he's tier 3, but this time around he's delaying it quite a bit. Going for more units and stuff before. Level 2 for the Lich. Now he's got the orb, and now creeping's quite a bit faster. Doesn't have web yet though, right? Yeah, here we go. Web again. So it's gonna be plenty of frenzy ghouls. Greater mana. Oh man. That item makes such a big difference. With that, he's gonna potentially be able to stay in these fights way longer than he would have otherwise been. A lot of Hippo Riders though. 7 Hippo Riders out already. The first 2 are potentially gonna die very quickly to the Nova plus Focus Fire with the web. Happy's gonna have to be quick with the dispels. Or just kill this tree, I guess. No Destroyer morphed yet. Happy's just aiming for the tree. No, never mind. He changes targets. Going for the Hippo Riders now. Dispel against the tree and means he doesn't have one for against the Entangle anymore. Dispel on cooldown, so this first Fiend is dead immediately. Happy once again morphing both Destroyers, meaning he doesn't have statues on the ground anymore. And no web really. There's one more web coming in. This Fiend has to be kept alive. Same for the Destroyer basically. Dude, the Cloak of Flames actually for once being like super good against these ghouls. As all the ghouls almost are dead already. Same can be said for the Destroyers. And the Fiend has to run as well. Big mistake by Happy in that fight, I think, was going for the Dispel on the Treants. That way, there was no Dispel ready against the Entangle anymore. And for that reason, the Fiend, the first one, was killed. And losing 1 Fiend when you only have 2 is not good. And now, LawLiet making use of the fountain as well. Happy still at 40 supply, LawLiet only at 45, but this strat really only starts becoming very powerful when the Night Elf goes into upkeep. And it's about holding that first push oftentimes. I think it could have killed that tree, by the way. It would have cost Happy a lot, though, I guess. Perhaps that wouldn't have been worth it. I don't know.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 2 Destroyers. I think you should have 1 only, and then just kite away from the Treants. And use the Dispel against the Entangle. For that, though, ideally you want level 3 level 4 DK as well, which he still doesn't have. However, Lich is level 3. That's pretty good. And now 4 in the Death Knight also. Tome of Experience. Dark Ranger again. As you guys may know by now, I'm not a fan of her in this matchup. Not against mass ferries, anyways. Happy's coming in once again. Fiend count is at 2. That is not too high at all. Okay, 3 fiends. That's better, I guess.
A player's forces
48 supply against LawLiet's 58. Who's going to TP into this? This could expose the heroes once again, by the way. Oh, Nova onto the air. That can be Nova. Fiend's being saved better this time around, as it seems. Destroyer being focused. What does LawLiet actually go for? The ghouls first, as it seems. The keeper has to be careful. He has the ruined bracers, but that one might not be good enough. He has to transfer the invul or a staff or something. Staff transferred. First hero kept alive. But the fiends are still all here. Have to focus the targets in unison, though. And the focus from LawLiet doesn't seem to lead to too many kills. Yes, he got the ghouls, but once again, the DK's out of mana. No more coils to use. Keeper. Oh, making use of Shadow Meld here. For once, the cloak actually being valuable. But it looks to me like LawLiet has once again held. And I don't know, I think Happy needs some inspiration in this matchup, which there is. Counter expansion, but that's scouted easily with the Wisp, of course, and even more easily cancelled with the air flying in.
A town is under siege.
Tier 2 counter expansion with gargoyles. Early expansion. Heavy pressure. Tier 2 Naga to hunt down the archers. There are ways for undead to play against Night Elf that are more promising than what Happy is showing. Especially this Dark Ranger. I think this Dark Ranger is such a throwy hero. And more time for LawLiet. At 54 supply. Not too high yet, honestly. Almost exclusively fairy dragons at this point, as is usually the case, with hippo riders dying over time to the Nova. But of course the fairies are magic immune. Diving forward deep here, going for the Lich right away. There's one more coil, but that's the last bit of the DK's mana. With the boots though, the Lich is very fast. Dark Ranger gets away just ever so barely. With a quick dispel, the entangle was cancelled quickly enough. This Cloak of Flames is actually pretty good this game. Like against the ghouls, it was insane. But even against the fiends, it's not too bad. Entangle. A little slow with the dispel. In fact, not dispelled at all, but it's on the DK, it's fine. Diving into the undead base, though, that's the way you can start feeding away your army. At the moment, though, it's only going to cost 1 fairy dragon. That's a loss that LawLiet can certainly afford. Doesn't want to feed these undead heroes too much, though. If this DK gets level 5, if this Lich gets level 4, Dark Ranger level 3, this can be pretty scary. The red drag is just chilling over here. Okay. Sobi Mask. Oh my god, that's so nice on the Keeper. Oftentimes in the extended fights, the Keeper will run out of mana, can't do too much anymore. But with a Sobi, he basically has infinite entangles. Alright, are we gonna fight at the fountain here? Who's that better for? I'm not so sure. DK though, once again low mana. And with low mana you can't really fight. I think that's the simple end of it. LawLiet still wants this cap. Happy wants to fight with the help of the creeps here against this fairy dragon army. Which is like purely fairy dragons at this point. We have a bit of mana flare as well. Dark Ritual denies some experience. Oh, and a coil and a dispel. Save that other fiend as well. Oh, the other one wasn't saved, but was denied, I suppose. But this is soon to be critical mass. The damage of these volleys is pretty insane here as LawLiet's up at 65 supply. Alchemist. Dangerously low. Mana flare on everything. Is that the BM move to signal the GG? Kind of looks... Oh, it kind of looks like it. Sorry, something died. I think a fairy or whatever. Oh, the alchemist though. Left by himself now, but he's so fast. Ooh! Boots plus chemical rage. I don't think the Lich can catch up for the Nova, despite his own boots. Counter Expo attempt coming up again, and Happy has actually got still 56 supply left.
The town is under siege.
LawLiet, 64, certainly still with the lead, but
Forces are under attack.
not by too much. How much is left in the mains? Still decent amount. 3 minutes maybe, or whatever that is. More like 4 minutes. More creeping to get closer to level 5 DK. We already have the level 4 on the Lich. And almost level 3 Dark Ranger as well. Her spells don't do too much, but she's a hero. She has damage, and she doesn't die too easily. Oh. Couple of freebies here, perhaps. But the Light's gonna give those up easily, as long as he gets the cancel, which once again he's gonna get.
Forces are under attack.
No upgrades on these fairies at all, by the way. I think LawLiet should have gone for some by now. And in we go. LawLiet aiming for one fiend after the next, focusing everything that he has onto one single target, but losing a couple of fairies in the process. Heal still coming in big time for many of those fairies. Fiends being sent off to the side, the heroes for Happy fighting on this side of the things. Mana Flare form on a lot of these. One more fiend will fall. Happy dropping down to 56 supply as LawLiet is still at 68 himself. Web. Alright. One fairy. But of course fairies are cheap. A dime a dozen. LawLiet can afford a couple of losses. And now healing up at the fountain. Does Happy want to follow there? DK still with okay mana. 2 coils. Lich has plenty of mana to use, but no units to use it on. Only on the heroes, really. Perhaps on the treants. Solo creeping this with a DK could have perhaps been level 5. But it's too risky for Happy. He wants to position himself over here, protect his expansion. Still only 5 fiends. Like, against this style, you want to have like 10 fiends. Alchemist. Full mana. So many acid bombs to use, and the chemical rage, of course. Happy's running away from the chemical rage for the time being, but here, next to his main, he wants to fight on Blight as well. Nova on the Alchemist, that doesn't do too much, though. Kiting back with the fiends as best as he can, and the fairies. Is LawLiet feeling so confident now to just dive into the main? He certainly has high numbers, but are they high enough for his taste? He's gonna sacrifice only one single fairy. I think only one fairy dragon died here. And now we do have upgrades, by the way. Fairies finally on 1-1, and more upgrades soon to be coming, potentially. Expansion cancel once again. DK basically level 5 though. Nuke on the Alchemist or the Keeper could be a little dangerous, but no, there's a staff. I think there was an invul as well, just in case. Oh, no, actually there wasn't.
Forces are under attack.
Alright, 1 more minute, and then the mains are actually expired. And Happy is amassing more and more fiends with the first armor upgrade. No other upgrades, though. So he's got 6 fiends now, right? Yeah. 7 fiends. This is not over. Level 5 DK. Does he go coil or aura? Aura is not even bad, because you can rarely use the coil offensively anyways, and normally it doesn't make too much of a difference on fiends. But it is coil. On level 3 now. Alchemist almost level 5 as well. LawLiet rebuys the TP just to be safe, and heading towards the main, looking for some economic damage over there, perhaps. Ideally, he would like to kill Acolytes in the main, distract there, and in the meantime, take out the expansion with something else. I think he's trying to do that with Treants right now. As the distraction is coming. The Flight of the Valkyries. Here we go. Acolytes. Oh. Mining is not happening here anymore anyways.
A player's
DK
forces
staying
are
behind
under
at the
attack.
expansion. That's interesting. As the Lich and the Dark Ranger try to deal with this threat of fairies by themselves. Can the DK deal with this? Ah, the trains are distracted, so yes. Weird position now, though, for Happy. Can't really funnel in through this little choke point, and LawLiet realizing it smartly. Taking out Ziggurats now, actually. But now he's going in. For the first Crypt Fiend, kills it off immediately. There's no Destroyers or DK here in this fight at the moment, so 2 Fiends can't be called and will be destroyed instantly. Happy still going for more statues. I don't know about that choice. I think just Fiends and upgrades may have been better. Oh my god, so many Fairy Dragons, though. Woo! TP out now from LawLiet as the heroes are starting to dip low. The Alchemist didn't die right there. And Happy once again back down to 53. Expo is up though. And is gonna be fully mining kind of soon, but of course the Tree of Eternity can just walk on over into the middle, which is looking to be pretty inevitable. I think I need to give Happy access to our replay channel on Discord, so you can check out what some of the other guys are doing. The guy's looking pretty grim once again. This is looking like the 3-1 here for LawLiet, isn't it? Just death by 1,000 cuts. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's not the most flashy thing ever, but it's effective. As the fairies now split off into 2 groups. One with the heroes, but the bigger one at the expansion. They have tickle damage, but when a full squad starts tickling, they can find some kills. And doesn't even lose a single one. Quick with a reaction, not gonna get webbed. And as they retreat, here we have the Keeper coming back in. 2 destroyers here, but look at the splits. Wow. Really nice tree and splitting. Did not lose him too easily against the Destros. Couple of Fiends now left over here as well, but when Happy starts splitting off his forces, then LawLiet can look for an easy fight against one of those split ups. And of course the tree now in the middle. $75 supply for LawLiet. I think that's the highest we've seen from him this game. What's the upgrades? 2-2 now. Woo. Oh! Chimera's coming. Usually I'm a big hater of those, but against this base it's pretty good. They're parked back here and they can't even get webbed. If they have Corrosive Breath, of course. And Happy trying to force a fight. But he's only got 3 Fiends, with only 0-1 upgrades. And that exposes the expansion. Chemical Rage on the Alchemist. He is so fast, dude. What the hell? Oh, the 2 Fiends. Uh-oh. This is some dangerous territory, kids. And, oh! Happy saves them both here, actually. Well done. There's gonna be all Acolytes dying here, most certainly. The Treants are blocking the way. The Destroyers with the Dispel is not quite quick enough. And for that, 2 Destroyers are actually really good. Getting rid of those. Keeper in focus, but he's actually surprisingly tanky with those Ruined Bracers. LawLiet gonna TP out once again. I don't think he lost too much. Oh, a few fairies left behind. Oh, and the Alchemist, that's more important. Uh-oh! Getting blocked by the Fiend. The Lich trying to follow with the Boots of Speed that he has as well. Coil. Oh, the staff! Oh my god! I think the coil's still connected, but that was pretty sick. Health fountains now also very nice for LawLiet to heal at. Hold the gold mine here, only 3 Acolytes about to have left. And where are the Chimeras? There we go. First 2 Chims here. Third one and Corrosive Breath coming as well. If Happy had a big-ass army, 70 supply,
A town is
Chims
under
would be horrible. But that's not the case. Lich is almost level 5 though. Oh, silence, so the Wisp can't detonate. That's kind of cool. And that's level 5 Lich. Level 5 Lich is kind of amazing. Game's not over yet. But LawLiet up by, what is this? 27 supply. It's looking pretty good for him.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, in we go. This statue is going to disappear. Oh, manual web actually. Not having it on autocast, so he's going for the Chims right away. Ooh. It's a lot of damage though on the DK. Oh boy. And, well, on everything really. The two Chimeras are about to die. But the DK, oh, breaking out of the entangle there with the invul. But that costs like all of the fiends. And the fairies now are not afraid to dive anymore. There's no towers here anyways. Destroyer taken out. This looks like the end of things. DK with one more potion of healing. Lich dropping low as well. Going for the invul there to break out of the entangle. Oh, Keeper in a bit of trouble. Has to transfer staff or something. He has double staff anyways. And now everything extremely hurt. For Happy, losing that fiend. Down to 28 supply.
Player's forces are under attack. A town is under siege.
Expansion is mining, but yeah. Okay. 28 minutes already. It does look like LawLiet's got this in the bag. Certainly. Undead heroes are pretty sick though. I guess, as so often, the answer has to be hero kill. If Happy kills off both heroes, first the Keeper, then the Alchemist, and then can move from unit to unit, from fairy to fairy, take out the Chims quickly with a Colonova as well. Maybe, but yeah, it's very unlikely. He's going mass destroyers now? Happy's always been a big fan of the destroyers, even post-nerf. But again, it's a lot of fairies. 3-2 upgraded now. Almost max upgrades on them. Best counter to fairies, by the way. Gyrocopters. Against undead, though, it's mass fiends. Well, it could also be gargoyles, of course. But then a hippo transition is easy, and hippos do beat gargoyles. Most of the time. So here we go. Corrosive Breath from the back. And there's no fiends anymore. Don't even know that they could reach here. Right, in we go. This is the knockout blow. Ooh, we've kind of seen this coming for a while now. Can't even do anything about these fairies. He can do nothing about these fairies. It has to be hero kill. It has to be. But there's double staff, there's an invul, there's rune bracers. Oh, using the invul. Was that a misclick on the Keeper? Oh, the DK, what about him? Has to go for his own invul potion, the Lich. Oh, that's quite a bit of damage. Right there. Stressful game for Happy. So many things to take care of, trying to not lose. But now, he seems to be losing everything. Tranquility coming in. A nice shower for everything. Night Elf to heal back up. Dark Ranger's dead. GG! Yeah, saw that coming for a little while. Impressive play by LawLiet once again. And now match points for the Korean. Happy did adjust in that game. Went for the Ghoul pressure build to slow down the expansion. Didn't work in the end, though. I think Dark Ranger is a bad idea against fairies. All right, map number 5, Amazonia. The Dark Ranger was useful against the Wisps, though. Yeah. I guess that's true. All right, happy now. In a tough position here, being down by 2 maps, LawLiet with a match point. That's a tough task. It must take a lot of self-discipline to not talk about imbalance here. Actually not. I think there's absolutely ways to play as Undead nowadays. Innovative ways. Playing differently. That are very promising against Night Elf. Mentioned it plenty of times before. Naga pressure builds, or early expansions, or counter expansions. Gargoyles. There's plenty of ways. I think Happy is just a little stuck in the old meta, which is one of the few weaknesses that he ever displays. Ghoul opening once again against the standard. Keeper opening, most likely. Sometimes when LawLiet is up a map or two, he likes to start clowning around. Is he gonna start doing that here as well? Apparently not. So far, at least. So far, this has all been looking very, very standard from LawLiet. Ghoul DK opening here. The Lightning Shield creep is probably going to be attempted. It's going to be a quick level 2 on the Death Knight. On this map, it can be pretty dangerous to try to go for the expansion cancel for the Night Elf because it's so easy to creep level 3 for the Night Elf. These 2 camps into these 2 camps is boom! Quick and easy level 3, unless the DK can come in for some coil last hit steals. Also, the expansion can be positioned in a very well protected area where it's hard for the ghouls to find the way in and easy to punish, especially with proper scouting, which LawLiet has been doing a great job of so far this series. Circlet for the Keeper, not too bad at all. And over here we have the DK with the Lightning Shield creep. Very important here, obviously, to not deny anything. And that is being done well. Did he use 3 coils on this camp? Or maybe he got detonated. Maybe he got detonated. Anyways, DK super low mana. So, contesting the map with that isn't going to be too easy, I guess. Level 2 now for him. Gauntlets of August Strength for the Death Knight, making him more beefy and pretty right-click respectable. As LawLiet is continuing around along the normal creep route. Nice blocking here as well, securing the Taskmaster last hit. You want to go into this camp first, so the DK, if he runs south with his level 2, can't steal last hits too easily. This is a big ghoul commitment. 6, 7 ghouls. Wait. Okay. It's not a double crypt ghoul rush. This is not Lucifer. Surround against the Keeper. He almost had it. He had it there for a second. Can he get his way out of there with the Treants? No, he can't. He's still stuck. But the DK can't attack, so there's not much damage on the Keeper at all, really. However, also Keeper is super low mana. I don't think he's getting out of having to use his TP here. Ghoul will be lost. One of them. Oh, he actually gets away. Are you serious? No. Ghoul will die. And losing another Ghoul, despite having a coil ready, That was a little sloppy. That's level 3 for the keeper, actually. And he has more treants! Oh my god, so many treants. Still gonna be a TP in the end, though. Unusual to see such a heavy ghoul move out nowadays. Normally that's not being done by Chinese or NetEase players at all, so I think LawLiet caught off guard there a little. And still no expansion, by the way. Skeleton scouting. This is the normal position, but no expansion here. 3 ghouls were lost, I think. Perfect time to move away for Happy. Don't know how he knew this, but somehow he knew. As the keeper once again is coming in. And now with the early level 3 keeper, he is the king of this early and mid game. Happy's gonna have to play the evasive game. Gonna have to try to find experience somehow whilst not being found, whilst not taking too many losses. Once again, Happy's really heavy on the ghouls. How many ghouls is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. So a total of 11 ghouls this game. Tier 2 done. Almost at the same time for both. And that means the Alchemist right away. Isn't it? I think this is a bit of a balance issue. That the heroes from the tavern can come right away on level 2. Should it be that way? No. I opened a can of worms now. Now we're gonna start talking about balance. That was my bad. That was my bad. This is not... the lead here for LawLiet is not down to balance. He's playing a good game. And Happy is playing a pretty uninspired game. Expansion is coming up now, by the way. Once again, a little bit late, however. DK secures another last hit there with a coil. The Lich. Where's the Lich? Started really late. I think you should start Lich immediately with this build. And then try to get archer kills with Coil Nova, diminishing the numbers and at the same time gaining experience for yourself. With so many archers and the treants, very easy to creep up this natural. Gets the keeper level 4. That's the Amazonia special. Very easy to level the keeper. And the greater mana for the alchemist. Also very welcome. DK though gets level 3 here pretty quick, I guess. Overall, Sobi Mask is really good. As the Lich comes from the main. I think Happy has to do a better job kiting in the big fight that's about to happen. Web the targets, the Hippo Riders, and then the ghouls, the friendly ghouls and the heroes take them out, and then just run with the Fiend, dispel with the Destroyer and so on. Oh, not denied here. So the Alchemist... Oh, doesn't quite hit level 3. And here comes the Coil Nova with a level 2 on the coil. This is very good against these archers. Happy is finding a good timing to move in. He's got more nukes to use. There's one Hippo here to save one of those archers. Lich is diving deep for this, however. Has to use the coil defensively. More Hippos coming in from the main. Oh, can he save that archer as well? Oh, well done. But that one archer should be dead. Coil defensively once again. So the archer survives here. So I think it was only 2 archers lost. That's totally fine. Oh, block against the DK. Entangle coming in along with the acid bomb. This might be the TP forced. It is! One more archer to fall here with the Nova. But the TP's gone. And once again, why were there not statues with this? He could have had one statue with the 2 heroes this entire time. And double used it with healing and mana. Why didn't he bring the statues? I think that's just a mistake, right? There's no way those statues are gonna die to a couple of archers. I think it's Dark Ranger time again. It is. Web not finished yet, by the way. We have a single fiend only. Wow. He transitioned so late into fiends. Alright, the shop is pretty much dead instantly. Despite the nature's blessing, doesn't last for too long. Nope. Actually does survive, surprisingly. Oh. Lich dropping very low. Lich only level 1. Only one fiend here. And the one web target is immediately in the mana flare form. So it's basically impossible to kill that one as well. Even the Shredder coming in here, which is not really necessary. And the ghouls get shredded by this level 2 acid bomb. The DK dropping low as well. The life drain. Did he just use life drain? DK's dead. Was that life drain? Am I crazy? Wait. No, that wasn't. I must have been seeing things. Okay. 4-1 for LawLiet. GG's. And LawLiet is the winner. Decisively.